I haven't written an intro. Maybe that's my intro. Well, I haven't written an intro, so we're going to start the podcast anyway. This is the Sash, definitely not the official podcast of the Essendon Football Club. I'm your host, Rob, here with you in the studio, and joining me to my left is Joel. Hello, mate.
Hello, Rob. Getting excited. We're closer.
Yep.
Round one is only a week away. Obviously, there's nothing that's happening between now and round one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, one would be where you start.
Round one.
Round
Yeah.
one. That's
Yeah,
where footy would start. That would make the most sense.
Yeah.
And sitting across from me is Ryan. Hello, mate.
Hey, Rob. I hope everyone's enjoyed their summer, and I hope everyone's ready to be hurt again. Because I think I'm ready to be hurt again. I'm very excited, but I'm also very ready for the pain.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure nothing bad could come of this year. I'm pretty sure this is only going to be positive.
I don't remember that ever having that feeling related to the Bombers, actually.
I think February might be my favourite month of the year. It's nothing but positivity. It can't hurt you yet.
Yeah. I'm not in denial.
What season was it, Joel, where you said, like on the first part of the season, that you were only going to have positive takes? Do you remember what year was that?
Yeah. That was it was 2 years ago. Because I had like my long service leave coming up that year, and like I also had like 10 or 12 weeks of leave that year, and I was like, you know what, this is going to be a great year anyway. Everything's going to be fantastic, and it didn't take me long.
Yeah,
did not take me long. I held it.
You did hold
for a couple of weeks.
You held it for a bit.
But I was kind of thinking of trying to repeat that again.
Mm.
You know, positive vibes only.
Positive vibes.
What do we
only.
think?
I mean, I commend you for it. Do I think I could do it? No. Do I think anyone else in this show will do it? Probably not.
Yeah. That makes it hard. I get dragged down.
Yeah.
by the general mood. Has nothing to do with the Bombers' performance. It's you guys.
I try to stay positive. Anytime I'm writing a blog, anyone who's had the misfortune of reading one would know that I try to be positive, but in reality, I'm deeply pessimistic, and I'm genuinely frightened for this year.
Yep. Yeah. I need the Bombers to go well this year.
Yeah.
Do it for me.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah, Bombers.
Do it for me.
Do it for us.
We need it.
We do need it. Yeah. I don't know. It's just like when we have those patches where we win like 3 or 4 games in a row every now and again, you'll be like, gee, life's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, it's the middle of winter. I haven't seen the sun for a while, but you know what? Things are pretty good. And then suddenly, like a couple months later, you're like, life is awful.
Yeah.
Nothing good has ever happened to me ever.
I'm just living on the website, the Essendon website, watching replay and highlights and absorbing everything. And then we had that block of losses. And I go, what did I used to do? And I was like, I don't remember what I did. Because you realise I don't want to go anywhere near Essendon. I don't want to go to work because everyone will tell me Essendon shit. And then everything Essendon related is always about an injury. So,
yeah, it's hard, isn't it? And it's annoying because even when we have been going well, you know that we're about to go shit. Like you can't be confident that it's going to continue.
Well, especially last year, even when we did have a good patch, it was always a little bit soured by, oh, well, there's an injury or there's something with the board or there's something, maybe off field. That's the one thing I'm hoping this year we can temper is if we can't go well on field, at least off field, let's be good. And Robert Shaw wrote a piece, I had a piece in the Herald Sun today, and he was talking about how great Andrew Welsh has been and that he can be the new Graham McMahon. So a lot of pressure for Andrew Welsh to make sure the club's looking good under his tenure.
Oh, look, I'm sure there's someone out there who's going to fuck things up off field for Essendon. I'm sure there's someone who's cooking up some sort of plan or scheme to just ruin things for everyone.
Yes.
Courtney Johns.
Yeah, a former captain from last year.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe. Fellas, this is the official season preview of the Sash. We've had two practice shows with the practice pods. So this is the episode, folks, where we get out the crystal ball and we speculate as to how things are going to go for Essendon, good and or bad. The first one is the ladder position of where we are going to finish. And Joel, I will give you the new ball. What's going to happen?
As the resident positivity guru, I believe the Dons are going to finish 10th this year.
Wow.
That's bold.
Scrape into a wild card round.
Wow. That is positive of you.
Do you want me to explain, or is that enough?
No, we can. We let's. I mean, it'll be a short podcast if we don't have any follow-up questions. How are we going to finish?
Next.
10th. Okay, next one. Yeah, great interview. My first question is, Are you running the Channel 9 Wild World of Sports social accounts? Because they did a ladder prediction which had us in 9th, and I've not seen anyone have us outside of the bottom 4. So are you sure you're not working for Channel 9, Joel?
No, Channel 9's trying to stay relevant. They know that Essendon clicks mean a lot at this time of year, and that's all about relevance.
Okay.
It doesn't bode
That's
well.
crazy that someone would actually say that.
It was funny because there was
Outside of being a nuffy.
it was funny because I was looking through it and there was a comment that said, it's like, oh, why does every prediction have Essendon going so well? And then the next comment was like, every position has Essendon in the bottom 4, and that comment had like 1,000 likes. And I was like, the only people I've seen have as good is that one, and then Channel 7, Chad Wingard had us as our like team to rise. And I've met Chad Wingard, and he's a nice guy. But Chad Wingard has now gone as an AFL player who I've met to possibly the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
Chad,
superstar.
love ya.
It
Doesn't matter
kind
that he
of
played
makes
for
me
Hawks.
concerned that the guy that did the Wide World of Sports ladder might be the same guy that told asked Jager O'Meara on the Gold Coast, like, you had a good season last year, didn't you? And everyone was, and the way Jager O'Meara looked at him was like, oh, what's his name? Ugle Hagen.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what are you, an idiot? But the AFL recently just had us, in their ladder predictions today, they had us at 15th.
Okay.
So even the AFL thinks we're shit.
Yeah. But back to you, Joel.
Yep.
Why 10th?
I think we are a better team than most of the AFL world thinks we are. Not to say that we're a great team, but the impact of the injuries that we had last year shouldn't be understated. And if we look at the people that we're getting back into a team and what that creates, I think that there's a chance we'll probably win some games against teams that are writing us off, probably particularly early on. And I reckon there's a number of teams that are around the bottom of the ladder that we should now be better than if we have, Langford back, playing well, Mackay back, Zach Reid back, and all that sort of stuff.
Okay. Interesting.
That's my theory.
That is your theory.
It's a nice warming theory. It makes me feel good.
It does make me feel good. Like it's nice to see a little bit of hope. A little bit of hope out there.
You're welcome, everybody.
And what I love is how, like, because of the wild card, like the team people are going, oh, we could sneak the 8. Everyone's like, I reckon I'm trying to think. I've had a Melbourne supporter, a Collingwood supporter, a St Kilda supporter, a Port supporter, a Richmond supporter, and a North supporter all say to me, I think we could finish 10th. Like, everyone's finishing 10th.
Yeah.
Everyone, any team who's like hasn't had a good year or so or may not do well, it's like, I think 10th.
Yeah.
I think 10th is probably where we'll finish.
It definitely gives hope. I think even though it feels weird, I think this change will just be, everyone will be used to it after this year. But it does give the last 5 or 6 rounds of the season probably a lot more merit.
Oh, yeah.
It's so, last year was a great example of it because it was so imbalanced once it got to round 15 or 16. Everyone knew who the top 8 was going to be.
Yep.
So it does really give a lot of that merit back. And maybe, maybe we scrape in that reason. Maybe a finals team wants to rest all their players because they're locked into the top 4 and we can still scrape 10th.
Yeah, it's weird now looking at the ladder and the line is there for the top 6 and then there's another line for wild card. Like, it's going to take me a while to get used to that. Before I ask you, Ryan, just quick survey around the room. Does a wild card victory count as a finals win?
No.
No. Yes. See, I'm a no.
I'm a no because of the way the AFL's line this up. Top 6 wild card. So I feel like the finals are once those top 6 play whoever gets into the wild card. Because I think the wild card is like, if you go,
please,
come on,
I'm trying to stay positive.
No, I just think it's like this. Wild card is supplementary. Finals start the week after.
Sure.
Okay, so it's a wild card win. See, I'm of the opinion. So if Essendon was to finish 10th and roll 7th, that feels like a finals win to me. Conversely, if we finish 7th and beat 10th, I'd be like, well, we should.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
I think it kind of depends on where you are in the wild card scenario.
I just know we can't win because even if we're 10th and we roll 7th, we go into the next week and get fucked. You know everyone's going to go, still haven't won a final.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't win. We can't win.
Yeah,
Go Bombs.
Yeah, exactly. We need to be in a semi and or a prelim for this for it to count. Ryan, Essendon will finish
14th.
Okay.
I don't have us in the bottom 4, but I have had a quiet moment at work, and me and a Melbourne supporter have recently just done our run through the ladder of each team, and he's feeling stupidly optimistic, but he still thinks they're only going to win 6. And I also had us around the 6-win mark. So
6 wins.
Oh yeah.
Did you do a ladder predictor? Did you go?
Oh,
through
yeah, I
every
did that
game?
today.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, I'm flat out at work.
Yeah.
But look, I think being if I was being really optimistic and thinking we can roll a couple of teams here and there, you can get to maybe 9. But the really pragmatic me, the one that says I haven't seen any development in 3 years, I think this is a really young team. And I also think that they're going to run out of steam about halfway through the season like they always do. I don't care if Innes and Reagan are there. 6 wins is about neat.
Interesting.
And we have to beat North.
Because how many wins did we have round 17, 2024 when we were sitting in the top 4 and then missed finals? How many wins were we on at that point?
I reckon maybe 11, and then we maybe drew again or something like that. Yeah.
So
6 is not many.
No,
That's not
6.
many.
Well,
No.
we were 6 and 4.
Well, I'm
after
looking at
10
it like
games
this. I'm
last year.
thinking, I think we've got Richmond twice. I think we can roll them twice.
They look real bad.
We've got North twice.
Surely they're going to beat us.
Well, that's the
Surely
thing.
this is the year.
I've got
been
them-
saying this for years. Surely they're finally going to beat us.
I have us 1-1 with them this year.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we'll roll West Coast.
And
And
play them twice.
I think we play them twice.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's 5.
And so I'm looking at
That's
5.
4 wins.
Yeah, 4, and then I'm just jagging 1. You know, just thinking, okay, maybe we'll roll Carlton, or we'll like on that Sunday night, or
Yep.
or even heaven. Maybe this would be the best thing. Collingwood is as shit as I want them to be, and we roll them on Anzac Day.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, I can't see myself because look at it like this. Gold Coast got better, Brisbane's gotten better, Freo's gotten better. GWS technically got better, even though I think that their team's filled with criminals.
I don't. Yeah, but without Tom, like I know they got Clayton Oliver, but without Tom Green, I don't think they're going to do anything.
That's a huge issue for them.
I
Yeah.
don't think they do anything.
So we play them twice, so we get a chance at them up and down.
Another 2 wins.
But I think there's just
Top 10.
That's
Saint-
that's a 100-point loss up there, guaranteed.
and then you got St Kilda got better, and Carlton's still shit, but they're still hard to beat for us because we're shit. Yeah, I think Sydney got better. A lot of teams got better, whereas I don't think we've gotten better. I think we're sort of stabilised. Being just healthy seems like the saddest positive for us.
Yeah.
But
But by being healthy, we will be better.
will we though?
not?
See, this is at least this year we get to figure that out.
Yeah.
But we basically have our whole spine back, which we didn't have.
Yeah.
So like,
For how long?
yeah. Let's again, in my positivity, we don't have any injuries all year.
That's right.
But yeah, that's why I'm feeling a little bit more positive because I think we'll be underrated so dramatically that the additions that we'll have will kind of shock people a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it would be good to have a spine, then be spineless, because there's been a lot of years that Essendon has been pretty spineless.
That's true.
Yeah.
I kind of want. I mean, I feel like maybe we should do it now, where we just go through the games and we just say win or loss. Win or loss.
Yeah.
But I'll give my prediction and then we'll do that. So I have us finishing in 12th. I've flipped around a bit. I did a prediction video a couple of weeks ago and I had us in 10th, but I've having now seen some of the practice matches, I have gone back to 12th. Whereas I do think we're better than the worst teams. I think like Richmond, West Coast, North. I think Port are going to struggle. They're an absolute enigma for me.
Yeah.
I think Carlton won't have a good season as well. So Melbourne, the other one there. So I feel like it's going to be a thing where probably with like 6 games to go, we'll be like, 10th is a possibility, and then it won't happen. So I do have us in 12th, and I think I have us in more than 6 wins. Because surely 6 wins, you finished lower than 14th.
No,
What was the ladder?
You look,
Have
I've
you
done
looked at the
some
ladder
ones
last
where.
season?
So you got West Coast. They're looking at maybe a positive win season is like 2 for them. Richmond's really rough. They're going to be good. They've got enough young kids, but it's actually not in their best interest to have a good season. We've got one more year of drafts before Tassie comes in and completely messes things up. North is one of those teams that should get better, but it's North. So it's sort of in their DNA to sort of disappoint. And then, I think Port Adelaide's one that could really slip. And then Melbourne is a sort of a flip of a coin because they've got some great little players, but I think Bailey Fritsch is out now and a couple of other.
Yeah. So this is the thing. I think when I look at all of the teams we've just mentioned, I think we should be able to beat. And I hope that we are able to jag a few wins against clubs that, like Collingwood, I think is a really good example. I assume or I expect them to slide. And I feel like we've come very close to them on Anzac Day.
I should point out that for people listening and viewing now, I'm not sure how far we are into the show, but this is recorded on Thursday and it's been published on Monday. So games have happened, and we're saying teams suck or are good, and they may have won or lost. So we don't know.
Grain of salt.
So everyone sucks, and everyone is good in opening round. We don't know yet. So any teams we've mentioned who have played, we don't know. That's what put
This weekend's just another official practice match.
It is another official practice match because Essendon's not playing.
Yep.
But so Carlton had 9, St Kilda and Port Adelaide all had 9 wins last season. Melbourne had 7 and finished 14th. Essendon had 6 and finished 15th. So yeah, I guess to finish 12th, I think 9 wins is very doable for us. Again, assuming that things stay healthy. Let's do a little quick yes or no, win or loss for these.
We've
for
got a
these
really
games.
tough run home. I remember that when I looked at it.
Tough start, tough ending too.
We play well at the start. So let's
Yes.
okay. So opening round, win or loss?
Win.
Yeah, we won opening round. Okay, cool. Hawthorn, loss.
Nah, I reckon we can beat them.
All right. So
There's going to be so much emotion in that game that I reckon we're going to roll them. And
Alright,
it's
can-
going to be a real stuff.
You nearly persuade me.
can you get your phone out? You've got your thing there. Just tally how many wins you've got for us
Yes.
as we go through this. Okay, so I've got a loss for that. Port Adelaide over there.
Loss.
I also have us down for a
All right,
loss.
okay, I'll go for that.
Okay. I have us beating North.
Yep.
Lose to the Bulldogs.
Yep.
We beat the D's
Yep.
at Adelaide Oval. We lose to the Suns.
Yep.
And then I have us beating Collingwood on Anzac
Me
Day.
too.
I see.
All
I
right, so
don't.
we're 4 and 3 in my chart, by the way.
I'm 3
Just to
4.
say-
How are you not 6 and 6?
Lions at Marvel.
Oh yeah.
You
They,
know,
they drop a game every now and
can
then.
I say
No.
crazy things that have happened? It's 12:30 on a Saturday.
This is such great optimism.
They
from
do
you two.
drop games at Marvel.
Yep,
I feel like the Mert here.
loss. Still a loss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Giants up there. Loss.
Yeah. Okay.
Dockers here.
Loss.
Is that the G? Yeah, it's at the G though.
It's the Dockers. They're going to be much better this year. They're in most people's top 4.
yeah.
Okay,
I think they'll be
alright,
really good.
alright,
Loss. Dreamtime.
Win.
West Coast over there.
Win.
Win. Carlton at the G.
Win.
So that's your 50-50.
Okay, that's your 50-50 for you.
Because the thing is, Carlton, good or bad, I don't know why, but we just always suck against
Yeah.
them. We're their bunnies,
Yeah.
I guess.
So I have us 3 wins in a row there. I have us beating Carlton.
Mhm.
Actually, no.
I'm having it as a
This,
win.
can I? This is I have
Draw.
I spoke about this last year. Maybe it was the year before, but I have a legit theory that like cold nights at the G, we don't play well, and
No.
that's a June Sunday night. Whereas when we play the D's the following week at the G, it's a daytime game. It's a little bit warmer. It's a little bit nicer for all our Portsy operators. So I'm going to change mine, and I was losing to Carlton, but we beat the D's twice.
See, I can't see us beating the D's twice.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why I've got us 1 win because we've got them on Gather Round. That's our
the Fortress.
That's our fortress. That's
Yep.
our prime. We should be playing there every week.
Yep.
Shout out to our Adelaide fans.
Yep.
Go Bombers.
Yep.
I don't think the D's team's very good. I think they've got some young players who are decent, and they've got a couple of stars like Pickett. But
Latrell
yeah.
looks sick.
how are they going to?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be able to defend and score that well.
See, that's our problem too.
No, it's all changed. It's all changed.
All right.
Everything's different.
Okay. So we're at the bye. I have us with 6 wins and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 losses. So I have a 6 and 8 at the bye.
I've got us with 4 wins, and that Carlton one was the 50-50, so I've got us at 4.
So you have 4 wins and 10 losses.
I've got 8 wins.
Okay.
Finals, baby.
Finals, baby. Okay, and then the run in North.
See,
I'm
5 in a row for that.
See, I'm calling. See, I think it's a. This is the. They have to beat us this
I
year.
think this is-
Otherwise, they have to fold.
I'll tell you what. This is. I'll make this point. By round 16, if Alistair Clarkson is still coaching them, they will win because things will be going okay.
Yes.
If he's not coaching them, we will win because they're cooked.
It's a Scheisenhausen.
They're cooked again. St Kilda at Marvel. Loss.
Yep.
Lions up there.
Loss.
Loss. Giants at home. I'm going to put that down as a win.
I'll put that as a 50-50.
Oh, I'm going to need to put it as a win just to get my prediction. So that's a W.
Hawks
Loss.
at the G. I didn't realise we were playing them twice.
I think we'll lose to them probably.
Adelaide at Marvel.
Loss.
Yep. Cats and GMHBA.
Loss.
Fuck it.
Sydney at Marvel. Oh, so Sydney at the G. actually.
We normally play pretty good against him. I feel like we're their bunny team.
Well, I tell you what, we did pretty well.
Colonel's
beating them
already
at-
done his knee by this point.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Last year, I think we played them and they had a few injuries, and when we played them at Marvel, and we just got home after having a big lead, if I remember. That was a tight one. I still just don't. I just can't imagine that Swans team losing to us.
W.
Well, I said 9 wins, and at this point we're on 7, so I had to give us a win for these last 2 games. Now that I'm going back to it, maybe there's one of those the other way around. So anyway, so I've got us that, and then we beat Port at Marvel in what will be a classic Sunday 4 p.m. dead rubber. Actually, no,
That's the last round.
It'll probably be a Saturday if it's the last round. It'll be a Saturday daytime dead rubber.
But it might not be a dead rubber if given the wild card.
Oh, sorry.
round.
Given yours.
Given Joel's wild card scenario.
Port versus Essendon to get the last spot.
Get the last spot.
Yeah, nothing's changed for me. I actually think I've added less games for wins.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have 9 wins and 14 losses.
That would be a commendable season if we got there.
I had 12 wins.
12 wins.
12 wins were in the positive.
Wow, Joel.
I had us at 4. I had us at 4, not 6.
So
Far out.
okay.
It
so
got worse.
Are you sure you don't want to change 14th to 16th?
We're getting a great draft pick this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
When Merritt goes to Hawthorn for the appropriate package that we're going to get for him, we'll be crushing it.
Wow.
We'll bring some people in as well.
All right. Well,
Okay.
that's our predictions for how the season's going to go. Let's get into some individuals. Ryan, who's going to win the Crichton medal?
I think off of the generational contract he just recently signed, Sam Durham, I think will cap off the season with the Crichton. I think this will be his best year for us. He's looking bigger. He's looking faster. He's just looking more assured. And he seems to even look like a better leader out there at the moment. I just feel like from what I've read over the preseason, he's louder. He's taking more command. And I think with the way I think the club will handle Merritt this year, he probably will become our number 1 in the midfield. And I think that'll get him to Crichton.
Interesting. I like it.
Can't argue with a lot of those points.
Yeah, well, I've got one thing with my Crichton medalists, and I think this guy is actually going to be the number 1 in the midfield, and it is the Solarium King, Jai Caldwell.
Yeah.
I think he's shown to me that when he's fit and playing well, that he gets Crichton votes. However the Crichton works, I still don't understand.
Yeah.
But he polls well. If he has a consistent year and he has a bit of support around him in the midfield, and it's not just him by himself, it has been, I think he'll win it because. Yeah, I think Darcy Paris. I think Jai Caldwell should be our best midfielder at the end of the season if he's not getting close to that already. Well, I mean, Merritt's obviously number 1.
It's valid.
Not bad. Adding All-Australian in there and Darcy Parish is a pretty good midfield, guys.
If we can keep him... Could you imagine having Parrish for 24 rounds?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Just think about
Well,
that.
I've written him off so many times on this show, but I'm willing to
I've got
write him off. That was invisible ink, depending on what happens.
Joel?
Zach Reid for me.
Zach Reid for the Crichton.
I think he could easily be a best and fairest winner at some stage in his career if he stays on the park. And I guess in the way that I'm thinking about this year, it kind of has to be now or never. Obviously, we know that he has a body that's let him down in the past, but he is such a good player. I would think if there was anyone in our team who might be the next chance at an All-Australian, not necessarily this year, but in future, he's probably the one that I see that has All-Australian written into him. And I reckon he could almost win a Crichton this year.
Yeah, he's definitely got it. I do have to break it to you, though, that every current player who has been on the Sash, his career has not turned out well since that point. So, Laverty gone, Hine gone, Perkins not doing well, Nick Cox has barely played any footy since I spoke to him. Nick Martin played well, then had an ACL.
Yep.
And now Reedy and Setterfield have also been cursed. So, sorry, fellas.
Jeez. But I love that. I love that call because, watching Reedy over the first 2 practice games, it reminded me, because obviously he got injured last year and we didn't see much of him. He just seriously could be absolutely anything. He looks but he looks free this year. He looks really unrestrained, and comparatively, because he's got Nuffy McGee down there, Ben Mackay.
Nuffy McGee.
He looks so clean, and he just looks so assured. Again, much like Darcy Parish, if we could get him for 24 rounds, fuck, he could be anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is the great white hope.
He is. Absolutely.
He really is.
He's our
And this
Larry
is-
Bird.
and this is the,
he is our Larry Bird.
And this is the
This is the year.
If he goes down again, you just got to have to pull the curtains out because it's just there's not much else we can do.
Yeah. The poor bloke. Did
but
you
no,
watch the
but he's
interview
about
that
to win a
or
Crichton,
listen
so
to the
don't be
interview I
too
did
sorry
with
for
him?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yep.
yeah, he's. I just loved hearing him talk because I'm like, I didn't actually knew he spoke. You know, I hadn't. He doesn't really do interviews, but it's great to hear that he's doing well. And I mean, everyone at the club is so complimentary of the new team that's come in from the fitness side of things. So let's just hope. Let's just hope it actually stays that way.
Touch wood. Joel. Thank you.
I mean, I don't blame the. I mean, obviously you've mentioned this in the weeks prior about Jordan Ridley. I don't blame the club for Jordan. I think he's just fucked. I just think his body's fucked. He just can't do it
Anymore.
And I can't. I mean, how many times can someone's body just give up on them?
Yeah, you don't see a lot of there are a lot of intercepting defenders that are out there that look like they've gotten bigger every year and he doesn't really look like he's gotten stronger that much. And so I think you're right. He's just not up to the rigors of the game, really, unfortunately.
Whereas Zach Reed looks fucking hot.
Yeah.
Was that too bold?
No, I mean, I was just reveling in it.
For now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just you're just saying body's not up to it, and then I'm just thinking about all the times I've seen Zach Reed walk off the ground injured, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I can just hear the groan at Marvel. Zach Reed, oh fuck.
Who was it one of you I was sitting with when Lewis Hayes?
Yeah, it was.
I was sitting with
Yeah,
you.
we were
Oh
there.
my god, we were so flat. We were so flat.
It was
watching
right in
Lewis.
front of us
It was-
too.
Yeah, exactly. It was dark.
Yeah,
That was dark.
Yeah, you went like mourning. You were like silent for the next 12
that was
minutes.
awful, yeah.
That was really flattening because he had such a good game leading up to
He
that.
did.
Yeah, he was looking good. You're like, hey, here's a find. you
Yeah.
know? And then just the
I was writing a blog about him.
the
But
Grim-
even him,
the
he
Grim
looks
Reaper just came in.
hypothetically stronger than Ridley. His body's bigger than Ridley's.
He
I
does-
reckon,
he does look bigger,
yeah.
So it was a freak accident, but
Yeah, exactly. He's, hope
Anyway.
he may be the Ben McKay open replacement one day. But anyway, best new player. Maybe I'll go first. And I'm going to say the best new player will be Dyson Sharp. He looks good.
Looks
He does.
43.
I'll keep it simple. He looks good.
Yeah, really impressed with him so far, and looks like he could be a on-field leader of the group in the way that he acts pretty early on. You know, if you got someone who's in their first season, going from contest to contest, winning hardball, making the right decisions, it puts a lot of pressure on everyone else to just lift to another level as well.
Yeah, and there's definitely some good signs from a few of those young guys we saw in the practice match, and it's gonna be interesting to see who gets selected on Thursday. But he of the group, he looks like the one to me who could probably run out a full game. Like there are some of the other ones that look good, and it's like, okay, Elachka will probably play, considering Kako may or may not be fit at time of recording. Farrow looks good, but he only played half a game against St Kilda, so maybe he can't fully run it out. Kondo Giannis, again, maybe plays because Ridley's not in the team and they need an extra tall defender, but again, can he? Whereas Sharp, I was like, okay, this guy looks like he could probably manage bigger minutes.
Yep.
Which means with 5 bench spots that he might get his way in there and play some regular footy.
He'll play round one.
He'll definitely play round one. Some of the little things he did against St Kilda really stood out to me. Just these tiny weighted kicks into the forward line, and I think it's just how mature he looks. He looks like he's 25, 26. His body's really well developed. As you said, he already looks like a leader out there. I don't know if it's just because he looks older than everyone. But yeah, he's definitely one that I could see maybe having a string of 12 games and then resting him just because it's he's 18. But yeah, he could be one that he's what Perkins could have been. Because when Perkins came in, he played and played and played and played. He just didn't get any better. But I think Dyson Sharp, and I don't know who said it on last pod, but the idea that the problem with him was that he had a lower ceiling, but he's really good, so it's fine. Yeah, he's definitely going to be really exciting this year.
Yeah, he's my pick. What about you, Joel?
I reckon Sullivan Roby. I think it seems like he's progressing pretty well, and he's almost back into full training, if not his full training. Sans full contact so far. And I reckon he'll make it into the team after just a couple of games in their VFL because they'll be like, this guy's too good for VFL. And I could see him like storming home. So that's who I'm picking.
He's another one that's just body looks way more developed than guys you've drafted in years gone by. You know, he looks ready, and it was so sad when he went down with that minor, I think it was back stress fractures.
Stress response.
Yeah, so I'm glad the club picked it up, obviously, but you know, it was one of the worst things I'd ever heard. Because it was like, oh my God, we just picked up this kid and he's already fucked. You know, but no, he looks great.
Well, the AFL, like the AFL scans or whatever they do for the draft, essentially just didn't pick it up, and the club got him in. It's like day one. It's like, okay, come to your club medical, and they're like, oh,
nice.
Okay, they didn't tell us about this.
That's interesting. The clubs aren't allowed to do their own medicals. I feel like that would change things so much.
Yeah. But yeah, he's an exciting prospect. Again, can't really comment too much on the fact because I haven't really seen him play outside of, you know, selective highlights and him doing laps at training and a bit of kicking.
Can run.
But he's got big raps. He's come from nowhere. You know, a bit of a Dennis Rodman type story of, you know, he was small and now he's really big, and best of luck to him.
Yeah.
Like he has the most vibe of the draftees.
Yeah.
Got calendars written all over him.
Yeah, he's definitely got a calendar. That's it. What about you, Ryan? Who are you going for?
Yeah, so look, both of those were like the first ones that kind of came to my head, but I kind of went for a little bit of a left field one, and I've gone for Max Kondogiannis.
Ooh.
Because with the
Greek freak,
with Ridley's latest injury, I do feel that he's likely going to get a run, and not to be the sort of the grim reaper here, but it is really unlikely we're going to get through a year with Mackay, Reed, Redmond, and obviously Ridley already injured, not having injuries. So I feel like there will always be a need to have him, and I kind of feel with the extended bench now that we have 5 and not 4, I feel like that provides an opportunity for a guy of his size to get a bit of a run. And what I've seen of him, I like. I don't think I think he's a pretty blue collar sort of footballer, and I just feel like he's the type of guy that I could see the more games you get into him, a bit like Reed, more confidence, more comfort, and I think he can really grow. And so he's one that I could see being really, really pivotal this year. Because one of the things I think for someone like Dyson Sharp or even Sullivan is that in those areas it's pretty competitive. There's a lot of players, particularly in the midfield for Dyson Sharp, to get in. You know, if we stay healthy, we've got a good midfield. Whereas our back line, even healthy, I still feel like there's room for a guy to pop up and just, you know, make his mark.
Yeah, he definitely feels a need, and particularly with the current availability, it's like I could see him getting a go
for sure.
Obviously, it means if without him, Redmond's going to have to play tall, which he has done, but it's a risk. Unprompted question, and again for listeners and viewers, this was recorded pre-opening round. What do you think Brad Scott is going to do with the 5th spot on the bench? Because historically, we've seen when it was a sub that they went for a running player, a half forward, a winger, a midfielder. But knowing that you've got the freedom to rotate them as you would, do we think that it's going to be more legs, or are we going to see the potential that a key position player, whether that's a defender like Kondogiannis or a forward like Archer May or someone else who is a bit different, gets that extra spot on the bench? What do you reckon?
It's probably going to be matchup based depending on who we're playing. But I think I like the idea of us having good forward pressure. So I think even if Kako doesn't make round 1, I think Huss and Kako are likely to play together from round 2. And you know, that probably makes the half forward line of like Perko, Gresh, and all that sort of stuff lose someone. But I feel like that pressure running small player, lock it in, is maybe where we will try and keep those extra legs. And if we, you know, are this team that's trying to be super fit and run in a lot of really sprint and burst running, I feel like that would make sense to try and use rotations that way.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like, again, based on preseason, doesn't feel like Gresh is in the picture. Doesn't feel like Guelph is in the picture either.
No, strange.
Angus Clark's obviously injured now, so that's going to free up a position there for a winger, half forward, half back sort of ish player.
Perko probably now plays round 1, although he would have probably was out of the team. I would say.
I think he's going to make his way in now.
That'll be the 5th spot, I think, because I think I actually would prefer them if they use that spot for something a bit more purpose built. So, you know, obviously you want to have that versatility on the bench, but that 5th spot, I feel like that's a free hit. So to have someone who's a little bit bigger, you know, just say a ruckman goes down, it would be nice to have someone that can move through. a Jake Kelly type. But I do think that'll be really the spot for someone like Perko that I feel like Brad Scott doesn't want to give up on him, but I think the rest of us do. So I think that 5th spot is going to be built for someone like Perko. He can come in and maybe make an impact in the midfield if they need him and forward line. So, yeah, but I do hope they don't go down that route, and I hope they go for a taller body or something like that.
Best new player run.
Oh, Max Conde-Jones.
Oh, you did yours. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, I was distracted.
I can go again.
No, we can do it again. So I've got many things going on here. I'm going away for the long weekend. I've got my phone just blowing up about stuff for tomorrow. Anyway, most goals for the season. I'm going to go first, and it is my prediction for the season that Nate Caddy is going to kick 40-plus goals and kick the most goals for Essendon this year, and he's going to have a bit of a breakout season.
Love it.
Yeah.
He did say that apparently at the Essendonians that he was going to kick 45. Neil Terry Danaher mentioned it at the Essendon Hall of Fame that apparently Nate Caddy told the Essendonians at a function that he was going to kick 45 this year.
Love it.
Fucking do it.
Love the confidence.
Pretty good. So last season he played 17 games, kicked 20. Season before he played 9 games, kicked 10. Now, just for comparison, in his 3rd season, let me just check. In his
Lance
3rd
Franklin.
season, in his 3rd season,
100.
Buddy kicked.
I reckon it was a ton.
What about
73 in his 3rd
73.
season?
Holy
So just so you know, if Nate Caddy is going to be the next great forward, that's the bar.
He's got to kick another 53 goals
Yeah.
on last year.
Yeah, how many did John Coleman kick in
What
his
about
third
that?
season?
Oh, God.
The Brizzy guy. How many did he kick? And he's Logan Morris. He kicked 50 or
Yeah.
something last year as well.
Well, that's probably the one that's Logan Morris is so good.
He is good.
God, Brisbane are annoying. Anyway, look, I think 40 is a very achievable goal for Nate. 53 in his 2nd season, Logan Morris.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
crazy.
Pretty unreal.
That is good.
But
If Nate kicked
With
that,
that midfield.
But again, if Nate Caddy played for Brisbane, I reckon he could kick 50 goals.
Yeah, sure.
with that service.
If Logan Morris played for Essendon, he'd be injured. He'd be injured. So,
Yeah.
he'd be
but anyway, to be serious, I think Nate Caddy has 40 goals in him, which is averaging roughly 2-ish
Nice.
a game, depending on how many games he plays. If he hits 50, that'd be amazing. But I think he's definitely got 40 in him.
Joel,
What do you
Love
reckon?
it.
what about you?
Langford for me. I think he's obviously going to be a bit slept on. And, we've now got, if Nate Caddy kicks 40 goals, then we've got 3 forwards who can kick over 40 goals a season in our forward line, which excites me a little bit. And I think Langford will probably be the beneficiary of Peter Wright and Caddy needing the best defenders on them. So I think Langford's probably going to pop up pretty consistently for multiple goals.
God, if he could go back to that form that he had a few years ago, that would be a huge benefit. And that would get us so much closer to the 6 wins that I need.
Well, Joel, if Caddy kicks 40 and Langers kicks 50, that's 12 wins maybe.
And Peter Wright kicks 40 or 50 as well.
Well, he's the one that I've got as kicking the most goals.
Top 10.
Well-
Here we go. Oh, here we go, fellas.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I actually think Peter Wright, being the number 1 forward, I think he'll actually do really well this year because I think he's going to have a better run at the ball because if we are healthy in the forward line, it would be remiss of any opposition to not keep an eye on Caddy or not keep an eye on a healthy Langford. So it really stops them, a lot of them, from being able to double team him because I actually think Peter Wright, one-on-one, is pretty solid.
Yeah.
I think he's got the reach, even though he doesn't jump. I don't know why he doesn't jump. He doesn't get off the ground when he leads. It's weird.
He's a Diplodocus. They don't jump.
Yeah, it's some sort of weird, sort of like the shittest transformer. You can't leap. But I think one-on-one, if we're able to spread their defenders, I actually think he's going to have a really solid season. And you saw out at Ballarat how clean he is, and no matter what the weather is, he just bang, that ball just does not deviate. So I actually could see him getting back to the form. I mean, he obviously had a good year last year, but I would love to see him get close to that, 21, 22 form where he got our Crichton.
Yeah. And I think our goal scorers last year I think he won maybe with 26 or 27 goals.
Yeah, I would love to see him 35.
Yeah. And that's I think he might have been the only person who kicked over 20 for the season potentially. So already we're going to have a pretty good year based on what we've just spoken
If we can just get the ball in there.
Yeah.
That's it. On the Crichton, just quickly, you'll just maybe think of something. Obviously, there's all those players we mentioned we want to win the Crichton. Are we worried that we're going to curse them by them getting the Crichton? Because as we know, the Crichton seems to be cursed.
None of them will ever play again.
Well, that's it. Joe Danaher injured, left. Devon Smith injured, retired. Jordan Ridley injured. Peter Rucker injured straight away, and then Zach Merritt won a heap, and now he wants to leave.
Now he wants to leave.
Now he wants to leave. So maybe we want to give the Crichton to someone we don't like.
No. Zach Merritt will turn it all around. He's a great white hope.
Yeah.
He'll win it, and it'll be all fantastic.
We can
It'll
give
be
it
all
to
roses.
give it to Jai Menzies in the Tasmania VFL side.
Yeah,
By the way, their jersey looks lit.
it does look cool.
It is good.
It does look cool. I'm going to go to Joel first on this because I know what your answer is going to be. Brad Scott will be at the Dons at the end of the season. Yes or no?
Yes.
Ryan,
No.
discuss.
Well,
I want to hear why it's a no first.
Well, mine's very easy. So it's year 4. We're not going to play finals. I don't think we're going to win a lot of games. My number one gripe with him, and you even talk to the 3 North supporters out there, they say the same issues are that he plays favourites with certain players and his game plan doesn't stack up. Now, my issue is I don't know what our game plan is. I think he wants us to go fast, but we're not structured to be able to rebound really well and to fill those gaps and actually move down the field. I don't know what he's trying to do, and I think that's going to be one of the reasons why we don't win a lot of games this year. And after 4 years, pressure's on. I think Andrew Welsh would move pretty quickly, and I wouldn't be shocked if Andrew Welsh was, the type of guy that would be talking to someone like, John Longmire or someone that's maybe just recently out of the game, a big name, maybe coach, or even just trying to find someone new. Particularly, I also thought it was suspicious that Dean Solomon is now an assistant coach who is a super close mate of Andrew Welsh. I thought it was kind of funny. Like, it's almost like they've got to, just in case Brad shits the bed, Dean can slide in. Because Dean, I could see Dean wanting to be a coach.
Well, he coached, he has he's played the role of senior coach a few times, I think, potentially at Freo and at the Gold Coast for a little bit. But, okay, if we win 6 games, I think that's likely going to happen. And I think what's probably then going to happen is we go really hard at Ken Hinkley and Zach Butters for a package deal at the end of this year. I feel like that's if I was Andrew Welsh, that would be the seed I'm planting right now with both of those guys.
But we'd lose Ken as one of the greatest broadcasters of our time.
Yeah, that's a loss I'm willing to take. But
I'm not. Ken's great. I love his distaste for preseason footy. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
He was so close to saying, how shit is this?
Yeah, he hated it. But I think this is the last year I'm going to give Brad this excuse, but I've died on the hill a little bit, so I'm going to continue to. He hasn't had the cattle. We've talked about the 2022 team. We've talked about how bad Essendon's administration has been for such a long time.
2024, we were in the top 4.
Yeah.
With like 6 games to go.
Yeah.
How did we shit the bed like that?
How did we?
And so that's it. There's definitely cracks, but I'm willing to give him this year. And if we so happen to make finals like I predicted, then you wouldn't be getting rid of him in that situation. But I think the opportunity of a Ken Hinkley, Zach Butters double is pretty enticing as well.
Yeah. So he's obviously got a contract for next season, which means
Does he?
Yeah, end of 2027.
Yeah, we John Worsfold him. We re-signed him.
Because they gave him that year because it seems like the club is bought into the rebuild. We cried out for the rebuild a few years ago. Now we're in the rebuild and we have to see it through. We can't just sit here and complain. Yep. But it seems that the club has backed him to lead the rebuild. But I guess it comes to that point where it's like, okay, if we've fixed all the backroom stuff and the structures and the physios and all that, and if all that is working as it should, the question for me is he the guy tactically to take us forward? I don't know. I'm jury's out for me for that. And does the club make a decision whether it's this end of this season or next season, depending on how things go? It could go great. We don't know. That they go, okay, we feel like we've sorted all that other mess out. Now we need the guy who is the tactician to take us to the next step. I don't know.
Yeah, so. I have this kind of growing sense that he is what John Worsfold was many years ago, that stabilising character, a senior figure in football that can at least try to galvanise the club. As you were saying, obviously things off-field are looking much better now. But
hey, Worsfold worked out great, didn't it?
It was perfect. I apologise. I completely misspoke. But yeah, so I do wonder if the club is almost repeating that step. Obviously the Worsfold to Rutten succession plan was a dog's breakfast. So I feel like maybe Brad is just here to set things in motion, and then we get someone in who is tactically more proficient. Because my concern is that, he's had 4 years and this will be his 4th year and he's had some issues, but overall, I still haven't seen this club play any different football than when Rutten was in or when Worsfold was in, and that's my concern.
Yeah, I see that.
Yep.
There are times where I feel like we've played some really good footy.
Yeah, this is the thing. I think we've just can't do it consistently. And
yes, that's it.
And then we get injured.
Exactly. It's so hard to judge. I think he will be there at the end of the season. I think the club have really backed him in. And I would be, look, if we won 2 games, I could understand it, but I would be shocked if they made the move. Like, I don't get the vibes that they are looking elsewhere. I know that there's a lot of, conspiracy theorists out there on Reddit and Bomber Blitz and all those other places who are like, oh, they're getting Hurdy back. It's happening
Bomber
again.
Blitz is
including Kevin Sheedy.
Bomber Blitz is unwell at the moment.
Kevin Sheedy, let's get him back. Let's dig up Dick Reynolds. Let's do it. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So let's see. Joel, one thing you want to see this season?
I want to see us beat a couple of top 8 teams. That's what I think would be a big marker of improvement for me. Like, we've talked about the teams we think we could beat, but I think if we're going to get better, we need to beat Hawks in round 1 or Pies on Anzac Day or whatever it is a few times during the year to be like, okay, we're starting to make some strides, and maybe there is some system here, and maybe Brad's coaching effectively against these teams, because a worrying sign against the Saints was as soon as they played their brand of footy and flooded our forward line, we had no chance to score. And he couldn't really adjust, but I think that would be a good marker for me of what I would like to see.
I like it.
It's good.
Ryan?
For me, sort of dovetailing off what you just said, then I just want to see a coherent game plan. I want to see something that is replicable, that is consistent, and that week to week we can see that win, lose, or draw, the game plan is trying to be enacted. And because, again, I just want to see, I want to be able to go to the football and know what I'm going to get. And I think that's what I need. I just want to see consistency. And I want to see that it actually works.
Is losing 13 games in a row consistency? I feel like that was pretty consistent last season.
That's consistent.
You know that everyone on socials, when we lose to the Hawks and potentially lose the first couple, they'll be like, they nearly haven't won a game in a year. It's just going to be the next one they're going to start.
We haven't, another point to circle back on Brad and why I'm giving him this excuse is because our on-field leadership has actually been terrible for a long time as well. We've lacked consistent leaders across the group. And then now what we know about Zach Merritt and tying a few loose ends together, it seems like he maybe wasn't the greatest leader in terms of inspiring followership from everyone else. Like, he was inspirational in terms of how hard he went at it. But, a change in leadership and having young players like, Nguyen and Clark, who's not playing, and Roberts, who are like getting into people's faces and wanting to be leaders and wanting to bark at each other. Dyson Sharp coming in, setting a bit of an example as a young guy. Maybe that makes a big difference and the game plan holds better.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Definitely. The one thing I would like to see this season is a scalp on the road. Because I think it is always a hallmark of a team that is going places when they travel interstate and they beat a good team. Now, I'm not talking about beating West Coast at Optus. I'm talking about, my phone has fell off the table. I'm talking about going to Sydney or to Queensland or to Adelaide. I'm not sure, Port maybe, we don't know, but like going to a place where we are not fancied and a young team gets together and they galvanise and they beat an interstate side, because those are the wins that I believe that even if we didn't play finals or wildcard or whatever, that if you get one of those wins, they are things you can build on. And I want to see that. That's my wish for the season, because it feels like it's been a while since we've had one of those wins. And I can think back to times where, I've seen good teams do that and then they go on and have some moderate success or play finals a couple of years in a row, something like that. So that is my wish. Did I predict us to do any of that in our predictions? No, I did not.
A win in Sydney would be unreal.
A win in Sydney, a win at Adelaide Oval against someone that's not Melbourne.
At the Gabba, for God's sake.
Go to the Gabba. Beat the Suns. I hate the Gold Coast. I'm the number one hater of the Gold Coast Suns.
Yeah. I love this about you. I love that. They would love that you hate them too.
Someone has to.
Yeah.
I'm doing them a favour by hating them, because everyone else is like, oh, I don't mind the Gold Coast. They're like my second or third team. Good on them. No. Fuck them. I will boo them relentlessly.
Oh yeah,
I hope nothing good comes to them.
that's good stuff.
It's me and the St Kilda board. We're the only people who hate the Gold Coast.
Yes, St Kilda hates them.
Yeah, I'm on Team St Kilda for this. So, but anyway, like a cool win on the road, beat a team who were fancied to be. Who are heavily favoured.
Yeah,
We go there and it's a boil over and the crowd is quiet and there's just a pocket of Essendon supporters being like, fucking get it. You know what I mean? If it's at the Gold Coast, it'll be all Essendon supporters. But like if it's somewhere else, it'll be a few people just flipping the bird. And I want that.
Yeah, I want that too.
I want that. That's my wish.
Let's get that.
That is my wish for this
Maybe
season.
that can be a Sash travel package.
Oh yeah.
The Sash bro. Yeah. Come flick the bird in another state with Rob. If you get bashed, it's not on me. Ryan, one thing that you don't want to see this season.
I do not want to see any newspapers that describe discontent at Bomberland.
Oh,
I would like. I
hate to break it to you, it's coming.
I want to see even if things aren't going well on field, I want to see that off field things are smooth, stable, and that we don't have any board coups or having Andrew Welsh having to go on to like Footy Classified to explain the situation and those sort of things. I just want things to go smooth sailing, win, lose or draw, smooth sailing.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice.
Very nice.
Mine is it's basically something that I don't want to read, and it is a simple line, and that line reads Zach Reid -TBC.
Oh no.
This could apply to a few people, but he's one in particular because obviously he's the great white hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not want to see those three letters next to his name.
God no.
We've already got about 3 in the list, injury list already.
I was looking at it just whilst we were chatting, and there's Cillian Burke, Nick Bryan, Tom Edwards, and Lewis Hayes. And Will Setterfield. That's 5 who are TBC.
Yeah.
5 already.
We've got 5 TBCs, 1 season, and the rest are all weeks.
I love this kid Killian Burke came out from Ireland and he already got fucked.
Yeah. He
Couldn't handle the rigors of being an Essendon player.
No.
Yeah.
Too much Ackland
being
Street.
cursed.
Yep.
Mine is I don't want to see Zach Merritt having a coffee with someone who isn't an Essendon person.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know he's going to have coffee with someone that's not from Essendon.
Other than Sam Mitchell, who is your person you don't want to see him have a coffee with the most?
Okay. Well, yeah.
McRae, Voss,
I'd probably say
Bevo?
no. I think it's McRae for me because
Okay.
this is going to sound so arrogant. Carlton doesn't scare me, but Collingwood rebounding really quickly with Zach Merritt would fucking kill me.
And he'd be a young recruit at Collingwood.
He would.
That's right.
Actually, no. Oh, it's Chris Scott.
Oh, could you imagine?
In
yeah.
Torquay.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
That'd be a good
Zach would
Christmas.
so take that meeting.
Oh,
Yeah. It's either that or Ross Lyon.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Saints seem like a real threat. They seem to be able to get players at the moment, and they're looking good. So that could be one that could entice
Or
him.
Tassie. Actually, if he went to Tassie,
I don't
guess
give a
that'd be
shit.
Whatever. Yeah.
What do we get for that? They can't.
Some
no.
sort of
Oh
pick.
no, I guess no. But they do. I think in that first draft they have a certain amount of picks that
They
they're
have to
required to
trade.
trade
Yes.
X
Yeah,
amount
yeah.
of picks.
Yes, I think we get like a
He'll be
sort
a
of,
free agent by
we
then.
get a package deal to Mona, and I
great.
think then Salamanca market something with the German sausages.
Dark Mofo. I did see Peter Wright at Dark Mofo when I was there. Just
Was he doing the
bad.
naked run?
He's a cultured man.
nah, he was just standing out like a fucking sore thumb.
Shocker.
Like the fucking diplodocus that he is. I was just sitting there having like one of those, what do you call like the warm wines? What are they called? My mind just went blank.
Mulled one.
Mulled.
Wine. I was sitting there having a mulled wine, and I was like, "Oh, look at that huge man! Oh, it's Peter Wright."
It's 2 minutes better.
It's 2 minute Peter. I think we had a buy that week. Anyway, yeah, that would suck.
But it's likely to happen.
What's
Yeah, I can't see him staying next. Or at least not asking again.
can I just say all 3 of the things that we've suggested, things we don't want to see, are all highly probable.
Oh, yeah.
They are way more probable
Oh,
than
yeah.
the things we want
Yeah.
to see.
And yours would link in perfectly to mine, and then that's the cherry on top that Zach Reid gets TBC.
He gets TBC'd.
The best Crichton winner ever? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
TBC?
TBC.
For Zach Reid?
Yeah. He plays 4 games and wins the Crichton. Fellas, before we wrap up, did you want to do some general predictions for the wider AFL, or do you not give a fuck?
Sure.
Yeah, love it.
All right, Premiership.
Well, I think Lions will 3-peat.
Hard to say, but not Lions, yeah.
I'm going to show the Crom just because something different. They
Mhm.
finished first last season, so
Yeah.
they're good enough to play finals.
Yep.
So I'll go the Crom. Runners up.
I reckon Gold Coast. I reckon it's going to be a Queensland.
Wow.
If it's a
Grand
Q
final.
Clash grand final,
Yeah.
can you imagine Talkback Radio? Oh, this is fucking shit.
Yeah.
I would
You'd get a-
probably
you'd be able to get a ticket.
It'll be me. I'll be the one
You'll
calling
be
in.
there. I actually think runners up will be Adelaide.
Ooh, I'm going to say Freo.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I reckon Flagmantel's going to be up and about this season, and then they're going to fall over in the final hurdle.
again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd
Brownlow?
like to see that.
Brownlow?
Nazaya, the Messiah.
Dacos.
Caleb Sarong for me.
If Freo does go into the grand final, then I reckon that's a huge likelihood.
Coleman?
Kerno.
Kerno.
Ben King.
Yeah.
They came second last season.
Yeah.
I only want Kerno because I think it's funny as fuck that Carlton would lose a Coleman. Like, he'd get
Yeah.
another one,
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
and he's playing for Sydney, and he kicks 12 on Carlton.
It'd,
Oh.
That'd be nice.
it'd be pretty
Is
good.
that's
This
tonight?
game,
That's tonight.
that's
Yeah.
that is
That is
tonight.
yeah.
Yeah.
This may have already
We
happened.
don't know.
He may have done a knee or kicked 12 by now. We don't know.
Yeah.
Both of these things could have happened. Best recruit, like new recruit in the AFL? Not draftee. I mean, like,
Yeah,
someone
I'm going
who's
to say Christian Petrarca to the Suns.
I was going to also track is also mine. I think
Yeah.
he'll play quite well up
Yeah,
there.
I had track in my one that we did in our group as well.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not Clayton Oliver.
AFL hot take.
Ah.
Mine is that they're going to announce the 20th team this season. I don't know who it's going to be. They're going to announce someone.
If you were to gamble, if you're a gambling man, where would you say they're going to put the 20th?
Canberra.
Yeah.
There's not enough people in Darwin.
No.
It's got to be Canberra.
I heard a hot word it might be Brisbane for a second team because they're expected to have about 4 million people and games growing really quickly up there, and I think they want to try and capitalise.
Cairns would be cool.
Maybe somewhere
Cairns.
north
Cairns.
Queensland.
Yeah, Bob Catter.
Oh, that'd be sick. Bob
The Bob Catters. The
Bob-
Catters.
I mean, sure.
Go
like,
the Catters.
The Cairns Drovers.
but like, they'll obviously be the Crocs if it's Cairns.
The Gilligans.
The Gillians. The Gillians. It's the Port Douglas Iron Bar.
Sponsored by Gilligans. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll definitely be the Crocodiles. Is there anything else we can predict?
Wooden Spoon.
Based on the preseason, I know it's preseason, but I think Richmond. Look
Yeah, I think the
fucking
Tigers
shit.
too.
They look rough.
They look real
they look
bad.
really rough. I mean, you look at West Coast and you go, things would have to turn pretty quickly for them not to get it, but I think Richmond's going to fight them pretty goddamn hard for that first pick.
Yeah.
Here's a final thing for you.
Yeah.
Of the free agents
Yeah.
that have been linked with Essendon, King, Butters, Zach Bailey, there might have been one more. Let's say out of those three, who do we think is the most likely to hypothetically
Zach
end up as an
Bailey.
Essendon? Zach Bailey?
I think Zach Bailey wins one more flag with Brisbane, fucks off for the cash.
Yeah.
Zach Butters, I just don't know why I just see him in hoops.
Mm.
Unless we get Ken.
Yeah. I think Butters is a shoo-in to go to the Dogs, personally.
Yep.
Yeah. Probably Zach Bailey.
Yeah, I think Zach Bailey too. Which
I would
fucking
would
happy.
prefer Butters,
Mm.
but
Really, I love Zach Bailey. I think Zach Bailey's more of what we need. Or Ben King, to be honest, is probably we could use.
I mean, just
anyway.
imagine Zach
They're all
Bailey,
amazing.
that sort of class in that forward line. There's a lot to get excited about.
Yeah.
but Zach Bailey streaming out the midfield, hits it, and Peter Wright drops the ball.
Hey, you guys went to Dark Mofo together.
Hey,
him to Langford,
we went together. I saw him there.
him to Langford and
Langford,
Caddy,
yeah.
and then having Huss and Kako at the feet. Oh,
Just quickly before we wrap, this obviously will be dated by the time that I actually publish this. But Blackiston signed a multi-year contract deal.
Well done.
Love
I
that.
believe it was described as a 5-badge contract.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was
Can
looking
we
at
call him the Badger now?
the Badger. Well, it's
Badger.
funny. I was on. I just had a quick
Bludger?
peruse of Essendon Reddit, and someone shared it. And one of the top comments said, Blackiston Badgers would be a great investment right now. And then someone else replied, Lockie Badgerston. So
Well played.
it is good to see that.
No. It just tells you, I think, that the club knows with this new ruck rule, that's where it's heading.
Yeah.
That type of player is going to be in vogue, and heaven forbid that at the end of the year someone actually throws a serious contract and we lose him like we lost Massimo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lockie Badgerston. Not bad.
Lockie
Do you
Badgerston.
think losing Massimo has scarred the club and we're just signing everyone just in case?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it was just that hurt because it was a Hawks, but
Yeah.
I feel like he was a bit of a flash in the pan. I don't know if he's actually that.
I was quietly concerned that someone might pick up Ben Hobbs, but seeing that he just had a jumper presentation at the Port Melbourne Football Club in the VFL, we're all good.
We're all good. We're all good. Fellas, thank you for joining me. Fun to do a season preview. Listeners and viewers, if you want to listen to the preview of the Hawthorn game on Thursday night, you can sign up to become a premium member of the show. If you sign up before Thursday, you can lock in the old price of $5 a month. Otherwise, it is going to be going up as of Thursday. So sign up now. You get to listen to us talk absolute gibberish. I don't even know who's on the preview. Is it James? What's one of you two?
It's not me.
Might be James. I think it's James.
It's definitely worth the $5 though.
It is. It's good fun. You'll get to hear me swear like a pirate and talk about all the teams I don't like, particularly the Gold Coast.
Can't wait for that preview.
The Gold Coast preview is mainly me moaning about how much I don't like the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
The city and the team. So yeah, sign up, support the show if you want. If you don't want to support the show, that's fine. You don't have to do that. But until then, go Dons. See you next time.